Here we go.
The webinar has started, Richly.
We are starting. Here we
That's
go.
welcome to the Mastermind.
Yeah, man, really feeling it for lots of people stuck in Carolinas, Georgia, craziness. I know one of our old friends, Dustin Matthews, if you recall from Speaking Empire, owner of Wealth Fit, where we have some courses, etc. I have not been able to reach him.
Wow.
So
Well,
uh,
yeah, this hurricane was something. You've been through your share, Ridgely, so you know what it's like.
No, I have for sure. And so when you see something like this, it's super crazy. Asheville, North Carolina is still completely cut off from the outside world. I've seen basically no communication from there so far. I've tried out. So super crazy. Um,
Well, our thoughts go out to everyone.
yeah, for sure. For
So, Ridgely,
sure.
your traveling is done. Yes, you're home for a while now.
I am for a couple weeks until Flight Club.
Okay, well, that's excellent. So, because I do have some follow-up questions. Thank you for some of the advice you gave last time in terms of the sales cycle and so forth. I have a follow-up question on that. So somebody wanted to know how the follow-up was going, and maybe for people that actually weren't following along or didn't catch the last session, can you just briefly recap the close that you did from stage, the follow-up process, and what your daily touch points have been with the people in selling like a your process?
Yeah, so I think that we're talking about high ticket sales here, team. And high ticket sales are very different. So where does the delineation begin? The basic delineation at this point still is that if something is a $2,000 or more price point, that it is likely going to require a telephone or some type of personal interaction. So if you're selling a product and it's in the low ticket range, low ticket meaning $200 or less, probably can be sold off a basic sales page. And so obviously many of the tools that we have in our mastermind, our AI tools can help you create those. I don't think they're ever 100%. So we can talk about that. How do we get them from what an AI tool can do for you all the way up to, and I'm going to show some stuff here in a second, up to getting it up to really optimized 100%. You get into that 200 to 500 range, all the way up to about $2,000. You're then looking at realistically needing some type of larger communication than a simple sales page and an email. You're looking at a VSL. VSL stands for video sales letter. You're looking at a webinar. What is a webinar? A webinar is a basic value training that at some point, in most cases, if it's for the purpose of selling a product, gives lots of value on a product and then pivots to the sale to get even more value for that product. So for example, in a 1 hour webinar, you'd be wanting to give value, 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 maybe planting a few seeds as to what's coming, and then doing a pivot at the 45-minute mark so that there's 15 minutes to make a good, solid presentation of your offer, and then possibly sticking around for Q&A at the top of the hour. So a webinar, historically, especially when we're doing very successful webinars, means you stay on for as long as there are people asking questions,
Mhm.
which could be 2 more hours. It could be 3 hours, could be whatever. But you want to make sure that you have time to get to the offer before people are going to drop off. So if the webinar is scheduled for an hour, what you don't want to do, with a ton of people do this,
Mhm.
is give so much value that they get to the 54-minute mark and then they have 6 minutes to present their offer. And that's just not enough. You need a 15 to 20 minutes to really present a solid offer. So you want to really plan that out when you're doing a webinar. When you get up to the higher tickets, So higher ticket meaning 2,000 and above, if that's a $5,000 coaching program, or it's a service-oriented thing that could be something like $597 a month,
Hmm.
or 1,000 a month, or in our cases, many thousands of dollars a month when we're dealing with banks and dentists. Um, you really need a phone call to go along with something. So if you know ahead of time where you're landing on this, then you know what you need to promote for. So when I am in front of a group of elite dentists, then what's going to happen is I know that there's no way somebody is going to sign up for a program that's a multi-thousand-dollar program without a communication with me or with somebody who's a sales expert. So I'm not even going to look to sell anything at that point. I'm
Hmm.
simply going to hand out a form, and I'll get one by way of example because I happen to have them right here. That's going to say something along the lines of, and I'll block out the name so it's not not I'm not doing any kind of confidentiality. It's going to say something like this. Yes, sign me up for a complimentary special consultation. I'm most interested in mind types workshop, website limbic makeover, local market dominator program, all of the above, and then their information below.
Hmm.
And and I'm going to say, please enter all of the following so we can fully prepare for our time. I want their name, I want their number, I want their email, and I want their website, right? And so I walked out from presenting in front of a group of very, very high-end dentists with a slew of these, lots and lots of these. So what am I doing? I'm then following up with each of these people. And at the highest levels, when the tickets are high, when you're talking about a big ticket item, $20,000 or up, which all of these are, um, what I've discovered is the following. Many people like the ease of a Calendly link or a booking link, and there are many people who do not like that feeling like they're fitting into a box thing. So here's a trick that works really well.
I'm
What
sorry,
works
Rich, but just to clarify, when you say people like, do you mean from the speaker's perspective or from the audience's perspective?
from the prospect audience perspective,
Okay.
I have found if you're dealing with a decision maker, they might really not like just getting a, oh, hey, book a slot on my calendar. Like you're a, but
Right.
there are some people who appreciate the ease of having the Calendly link, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to give them both. So in my communications back with every one of those dentists, it says something like, dear Hubert, a great seeing you at the summit. I'm looking forward to our call together and to exploring what the possibilities are. Um, here are some options that work for me this week. See if any of those work for you. And by the way, in case it's easier, here's also my Calendly link. I'm not a big fan of the Calendly, but just thought you could have it whatever's easiest for you.
Hmm.
That way they know they owe me a communication. It's not just show up on my link. They owe me some type of return. So, for example, on this particular batch, and I'm still following up, we're only talking about literally a couple of weeks ago, I've gotten about a 65% return communication so far. A few have not gotten back to me. And of course, I'll continue following up with those people and I'll do it differently, right? So if I know that somebody like this particular person that I happen to block their name happens to be one of the person that has not gotten back to me, but I've got their website and I know what they're looking for because they've told me what they're looking for right up here. So what am I going to do? I'm now going to shoot a Loom video and send a Loom video to this person saying, hey, just want to make sure I sent you some thoughts on your website. Looking forward to our call. By the way, here's when I'm available next week. Or if you prefer to use my Calendly, even though I don't really like Calendly that much, here it is, da 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 da. And then in the Loom video, what will I have done? I will have gone to our expert, gotten base rankings, found out where they have gaps in their marketing, what they're missing, what they have not done as of yet. I will then show them on the screen. Here, I'll actually bring one up to let people know how much work I put into every one of these calls. Because when you're talking about a recurring monthly revenue service that potentially could last for 3, 4, 5 years, you're talking about the lifetime value of a client as being $250,000 to us. So
Right,
to not put in the effort on the front end to really do everything you can think of to give them great value and also point out where you can help them would be flat out foolish. So, of course, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the time, figure it out, and give them value in the call. If they don't get on the phone with me right away, then I'm going to give them value in the Loom, and then from the Loom, I will find stuff that I can share with them that they need to fix, right?
right.
So that they're seeing that I really care about them, and that I'm paying attention to what their needs are, and that when they're dealing with me, it's no joke. So I'm going to bring up one
Right.
right now.
So I just want to tell everybody. So of course, this example we're showing is in our local marketing and website and digital marketing services. But you would extend this to whatever your area of expertise is, whether it be consulting or coaching or whatever your thing is. As a matter of fact, right after Ridgely shows his thing, we'll bring on for our first hot seat, Dorina, one of our members, who's working on her verbiage for her high ticket items. So Ridgely, this is directly appropriate. That's great.
So here you have, this is a snapshot of a dentist in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, um, on their GBP. So right now I see they have 0 location pages. Wow, that's huge. We can add those. They said, okay, their GBP category is pretty good. Images, they only have 27 images. Well, what do we know? If you have 100 images, you get 500% more calls. You get 960% more search views, 3,500% more map views, etc. We can help them. Oh, they have reviews. They've responded to most. That's a good thing. Most people haven't. Where are they showing up in the messages? On the in terms of their rankings. Average rating 4.91 of the messages, reviews 500, that's good. Services are listed, that's good. UTM code not in place. Last post, September 2024, not bad. Q&A needed, attributes needed, schema okay, but needs to be updated. So I can show this in our phone call. So tomorrow I'll have a call with these guys and I will show them all these things that they can improve on the call. And I will say, look, see this, let me show you some more stuff. Now, let me take it a little further to give you an idea, because again, I know this is not possible for everybody, but this is the attitude that you want to have when you're doing a high ticket sale. I now have a detailed analysis of everything to do with their practice. What do they have here? Started from an early age. What are their reviews? What are the descriptions that they have inside their Google business profile? Are those deep enough, etc.? Okay, let's take a look. Image quality. We got 27 images, some of them high quality, some of them large. Upload frequency. What does that look like? What are the last 19 images they showed up? So you can see how much depth we go in to find out everything I can find out about a client before I ever get on the phone with them. What links do they have? What are their backlinks? What are the last 21 posts? How well are they doing there? What's the market look like, etc. You can see this is, by the way, this is a prospect. I haven't even talked to these people yet, right? So please understand, when you're in the game of high ticket, which we're going to get to Dorina in just a second, to not use tools such as the tools that we provide for you in this mastermind to do the research on a client.
Right.
It's not just lazy, it's just foolish.
Exactly.
There's
And
so
and the
much.
benefits of doing so. I mean, folks, this is all about consultative selling, right? When they see the amount of work you've done on their behalf as a prospect, they're like, wow, imagine what it's going to be like once I sign up.
That's exactly right. And it kicks off the law of reciprocity because you're giving them tons of value. It sets you up as an expert, right? So let's just imagine this scenario. Ridgely goes on stage. Ridgely is an elite speaker. Okay. We all know that. You've seen me speak, you know that. I'm not saying I'm the greatest speaker in the world, but up there in the elite professionals. And we just crush it. And we show them all kinds of data and stuff that says, OMG, these guys are amazing. I need to get them to start working on my stuff. Okay. Then I go to a call. Now there's an office manager on that call. And there's another partner that wasn't at the speech where the one partner saying, we got to work with Ridgely and Hubert and their team, right? Imagine how foolish I would look if I said, okay, you guys ready to go? Without showing them some more expertise, without showing them where they're missing things and the work that we've done to help figure out what they need to be doing to be at the elite level, to kick it to another level, to then A, justify working with us, and B, justify the amount of money that we're going to ask them to part with to work with us, right? It would be crazy to not walk in armed and dangerous to a high ticket sales situation where you're looking to ask somebody to make a major financial commitment to you. You got to show them what you're going to do for them. Yes, of course, I can always go back to the presentation that I did. In fact, one of the things that I always do when I'm doing a high ticket sales is I know where they've seen the information, right? I know what it is, the presentation that they saw, whether that was a webinar, whether it was uh, a live presentation that I did. I know what they've seen. I know what I need to be prepared for. So let's suppose, for example, how do you think this works when, for instance, there is a doc, and I'm using the case of a dentist. In our case, it's dentist, but it could be a lawyer, a coaching client, a business person that's looking to use your executive coaching services, whatever it could be. And you know you're walking into a scenario where somebody who wasn't at that presentation is going to be on that call. Well, you better be prepared because here's what's going to happen most of the time. Hey, Ridgely, I loved your presentation. That's why we're here. I got my office manager with me. Could you do me a favor and bring them up to speed on what the presentation looks like? Well, so what is Ridgely going to do? What Ridgely's going to do is Ridgely is going to be fully prepared for that question because I've gotten it before. And I'm going to say, well, you know what? I thought you might ask. So I happen to have the presentation that Dr. So-and-so saw. Let me just give you a little bit about limbic messaging. The easiest way for me to do it is to show you some examples. So imagine now that at your dental practice, it started out with, we believe in new beginnings, or we believe in crisp apple and juicy steaks on the dental implants page, or you deserve to smile that you're proud of. That's the messaging that you really get people to raise their hand and say, wow, these people truly understand me. We believe in turning strangers into family. Can you understand how big of a difference that would make, office manager person, if that was on your website? Oh, and by the way, I'm going to have their website up there. I'm going to pull up that website and I'm going to say, can you see how right here we could say we believe in turning strangers into family and how that would really change the feeling on your website? I'm going to get them nodding their head in our favor long before I even talk about money or anything like that. And then I'm going to say, so what first thing we do is up level the website. And then once we up level the website, our job is to take you to the top of search engines. Let me give you some random search rankings, what that looks like. For example, here they are, number one, 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 number one. I'm going to list a bunch of these offers. This is a practice in Texas. Let me give you another example of a practice that's up north in Michigan. And you can see number one, number one, number one, number one. And let me give you one out west. So you can see that we do this anywhere. We do it number one, number one, number one, number one, number one. I'm showing all of this to the office manager. Oh, and then we do the same thing. And you can see the increase in numbers of calls up 55% on the website, up 20% of actual calls, requests for directions, etc. And then let me show you what we do in the Google Maps. There you can see the practices right in the middle, but anywhere in all of those outlying areas, they rank number one. That's in Texas. This is in Michigan. This is in Colorado, etc. I'm going to show them the proof. Then I'm going to show them where they're not doing what they need to be doing, why they need to be doing that so that they can rank number one, so that they get the best prospects, so that they make more money to justify the return on investment for the amount of money that I'm about to ask them for. So
Exactly.
I don't mean to be like ranting over here. It's just that I really get sort of like almost annoyed with people that think that making a high ticket sale, you don't have to prepare for that. You don't have to do the work ahead of time, especially not when we give you the tools to do this, to find out as much as you need to find out using AI about any company that's out there that you're about to meet with. So, no
Exactly.
excuses.
Exactly.
I'll stop
And
ranting.
no, I love it. And also, just to remind everybody, while this example that you're looking at from Ridgely, while the proof may bore you, it is irresistible to a dentist or the dental office manager. In your niche, you can uncover equivalent points of proof, equivalent pain points, and everything else that will fascinate you and your audience. So the point here is not to copy verbatim Ridgely, but to copy the approach. Point out the pain, point out where they're at, point out where they could be at, and then sell them, the difference.
Yeah, for sure. There's tons of comments. I'll let you run through those, Hubert, and tell us which ones you want. Obviously, we'll bring up Dorina here as soon as we're ready. I just really want to emphasize, you have these tools. You have them available, right? So let me just point out a couple of those. Let me just make sure that we're tracking here. So we know you have Ridgely's prompt library, right? Well, in Prompt Creator over here, you have creating an executive summary, a needs assessment prompt. You have troubleshooting stuff. You have a lot of things you can use. This executive summary prompt, this will tell you everything about a company. All you have to do is put in their website and tell them how long you want the executive summary to be. And this will work whether it's in Bard, Gemini, ChatGPT, it doesn't matter. It works everywhere. You want to get a needs assessment. Here we go. There's a needs assessment. You want a SWOT analysis. You can do all of that using AI, come out with a fantastic amount of information. I've had the comment, you know more about my company than I think I know. Not because I do, but because I'm properly using the tools to give me the data that I can refer to. And I'm telling you, by the way, you want to talk about sounding like a genius? Here's how you sound like a genius. You have another computer right over there. See that computer right there? Right there. You have another computer. So as we're talking, you're talking, you're just going, yeah, and you glance over there at the computer and you pick up some data and you spit it out here and you glance over at the computer and you're still talking. It doesn't look like you're referring to anything, but I've got all the information on that computer right there. So I have 3 screens open, my proof, what I'm talking about, and the Zoom. And of course, you can come across as a genius. And I will tell you one thing else it does. For those of us who really don't care for sales calls or follow-up calls or consultation calls, because sometimes they get unpleasant, it will never happen to you again, ever, for the rest of your career if you are fully prepared. If you walk into a consultation or a sales call and you are fully prepared because you have used AI and you've done a ton of work on that prospect to show them that you care, you will never have another bad call. The worst thing you're going to get is, man, thank you so much for everything you've done, everything you've shown me. Really a tremendous amount of value. Let's see if we can do something, or it may not be right for us right now, but I'm certainly going to keep you in mind. And it's always pleasant, always pleasant.
Yes.
We have
And
a,
always they are going to remember the guy or gal that wowed them with all of that pre-work prior to the meeting. And when they say they'll keep you in mind, they literally will, because they're gonna say, "Oh my God, now I understand what they were talking about. I gotta get back on the call with them." I mean, it's irresistible.
and that's happened. And I see we have a ton of people on the call today. And many of the people that are on the call that are mastermind members today are people that saw something 2, 3, 4 calls ago, or 2, 3, 4 months ago, or last year, and
Right.
came back and had that opportunity. So please prepare yourself, do the work. You have the tools, you have the prompts, you have the instructions. Even in PAF Brain, you can do this. You can get think of all the things you can get out of PAF Brain.
Yes, exactly. If you let me share my screen, I actually have it pulled up. Um, this screen here shows you all. This is equivalent to Ridgely's approach. Ridgely's approach are the actual prompts that you actually put into your AI. We've actually coded those and a lot more, and put them into a push button type of scenario. So one thing that we do a lot of is we'll use this to create a website for a client. But then, Ridgely, look who I'm putting in here. I'm taking occasionally another look and running our work through the machine again. And so what's happening is it's a further iteration. So not only are we looking at things like research type things, executive summary, but here I ran the whole shebang. And let me just show you here. And literally, you run it by pressing one button, right? You go through and you get, again, the executive summary based on the website. Why? It's because now I'm using AI to see what kind of a job I did on the website. And when I go and look through this, I'm like, oh, you know what? I have AI tweaking the good work that we've done. And you go through all of this, and there's a range. I don't normally recommend originally that people run the whole thing, but in review mode, it is quite helpful to go through here. Even prompts like punch up my text, which gives you, a little bit of a snazzy text, because sometimes I personally run, a little long on my text writing and so forth. But you can take the power of AI and actually do one push of a button to achieve all of that. It's like there's no reason not to these days.
Yeah, and I want to also so we have all these tools that we use, and we're constantly showcasing them. And so yesterday, so this is yesterday, I had a call with a person who wanted to who said, I don't have a website yet. I'm working on my business idea. Um, you probably don't have time for me. It's probably a little premature. So before we go any further, I just want to tell you, I'm working on a business. I don't even have it yet, but so if you tell me that I'm not right for your mastermind, I totally understand. And my answer was, well, what are you looking to accomplish? How can I help you? Well, I'm a teacher and I just retired, and I want to create a course that helps teachers prepare um, lessons, because teachers work so hard and are grossly underpaid. So what did I do? I said, well, let me show you what that might look like. And I went into our PAF offer, and in real time, I just said, create an offer. And then I wrote a one sentence thing, looking to create a course on helping teachers do lesson preparation for grades K through 12, that will shortcut their process and give them a great output. And said submit, did submit, and then let the thing run. And I said, and let's tell me a little bit more about the business. And then I said, well, there's an offer idea. Okay, well, there's the offer content. Here's the offer hook. Yeah, tell me. Okay, so that's what you need. So you were in teaching for 28 years. That sounds great. And you want to do this in Spanish too? Oh, yeah, but there's not any money in the Spanish market. I said, well, there's money in the Spanish market in the United States. they get paid the same amount as the English teachers get paid if they're in the US public school system. No, oh, here's your offer description. Oh, here's your email sequence. And I'm showing her this as we're having this conversation, just like this right here. By the end, the conversation was, oh my God, I had no idea you could do that. This thing is going to do all the work for me. I said, that's exactly right. And our next mastermind is tomorrow. And if you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you there. And what did I get back this afternoon, not 20 minutes ago, was a message saying, Rizzy, so sorry I can't make it today. I'll be joining your platform. Looking forward to working with you. What did the work? Did Ridgely do the work? No. The tool did the work for me. So please take advantage of these tools because they'll do the work for you, and then the output is phenomenal. All right, so we bring up some people, talk about some stuff. You're on mute, bud.
Oh, sorry. Okay, excellent. That was excellent. Originally, I think I'm going to drop the link here. This is an open house call, so there are members on the call as well as people auditing the call that are not Mastermind members. So I am going to drop the link to Ridgely's Calendly. And if you'd like to learn more about the Mastermind and have Ridgely walk you through a session of how AI could help you in your business, please book a call with Ridgely.
All
Ridgely, I
right.
hope it's okay. I opened up your calendar to the world here.
Look at this beautiful lady. I love that dress. That is so nice. You look great.
Hey, Darina, you're looking good.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, as you know, I have been out of commission for a while. I have not had a stroke since August, so I'm good.
Welcome
Good
back.
for you.
And while I was out of commission, I managed to not be paying attention. So my main Doreen Alonda site self-destructed. My email list, poof. And I am rebuilding from scratch. So what I have done is I have gone in and I have prepared the basic pages for my website, the home page, the about page, the how I came up with the Phoenix system page, and some other crap that doesn't matter. And I used your tools in combination with ChatGPT. And what I am looking to do is differentiate myself so I do not look like just some other coach.
Mhm.
I will not use an adjective. The people that I believe I am uniquely positioned to work with are the ultra high net worth and super high achievers, because Hubert, as you know, as a master, I'm also a polymath and have reached the top of many, many fields, including, I can't remember them all, but sports. I was a professor at Northeastern University at 19. I was a rocket scientist, medical physicist at Brown University Medical School. Sorry, forgot about that. Rocket scientist, management consultant back in the 80s, last century, increased client revenues by over $2 billion, grew network marketing companies to over 50,000 members, named one of the top trainers in the industry. And the people that I'm targeting are people who are highly accomplished and are sitting there going, what else is there? My life sucks, right? And originally, I know what you're talking about. And maybe we can chat offline. So what I am looking to express, I'm looking to put together a website so that when I meet somebody, if I go, I live in Palm Beach. So when I go to one of these things in season and I meet somebody and they're going to want to know who the hell's Doreen Alonza, they're going to land on my LinkedIn, they're going to land on my webpage, and I want to have something that has them go, oh my God, I want to talk to her further. That's my goal. I'm not looking to sell them a thing because the fees that I'm looking at are very, 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 very high for the people at this level. So I have a draft that I have worked on, which is, the homepage, the About Me page, the where the hell did the Phoenix system come from page, and then some other crap that you don't need to worry about. And I was wondering how best to get your feedback on what your opinion is, as to whether it makes any sense or not. I'm looking to, well, I'm going to tell you what I'm not looking to do. I want to not look like these one-dimensional people that have one thing going on. And Hubert, you know what I'm talking about. I want to incorporate the broad-based experience. Plus, I'm 70 years old. I've been around a long time. All that, and become attractive to these people, because I know they're miserable and nobody is targeting them because they do not know how to speak to them. And I do, because I grew up in the yacht club and the International Italian Society and all
All
this
right, show
stuff.
us the stuff. Enough
So,
already. Show us the
well,
stuff.
how do I do that?
Okay, well, give me the URL. I'll pull it up.
Well, I need to paste something in because
Okay, paste it.
it's in my, oh shit. See, I figured I'd do it next week, right? So let me minimize you
Well, you
and,
can do that. I mean, we can do that. We can do it next week if you want.
next week I can't do it. I could do it the week after.
Okay.
But I can,
If that gives you more time, Tarina, that's fine.
well, no,
Up to you.
everything is prepared. I just need to send it to you.
Yeah,
So
or you can pop us something now, and then we'll take our first look now, and then do an in-depth in 2 weeks.
that would be fabulous. So let me grab.
Because I think Ridgely's reactions, off the cuff reactions, the first blush reactions would be quite valuable originally.
Okay.
And I am sure they would be. Should I just paste it into the chat?
Sure.
All right. Okay, so this is the story of the Phoenix reveal. Well, a broad overview of how I came up with this. Oh shit. God damn it. Really? Let's try this again. Oh, Christ. All right, let me try it a second.
There we go. We're ready.
Okay, Command C, right? I'm on an Apple. It's a Command C, right?
Command C is copy.
Command C is copy, and let me expand you guys again. Let's do Command V.
I think you have to do, if you're looking to copy something, what is it? I do it all the time.
Ridgely, can
copy.
I share it to you?
Yeah.
All right, hang on. Let me move you down so I can find
I think originally David in the chat is saying what you're about to say, that you have to select it all first, or select
I
what you
did. I selected
Okay.
all, damn it. Don't give me that. Come on. I used to be a rocket scientist. I wasn't born yesterday. Hello, people.
All right. We got a lot of people on
okay.
here.
I'm gonna Control C again. And I do not want to occupy the time if I can't get it done, but I would love.
Or you can share your screen and we can just look at it visually.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Okay, go for it. Give it a try. If it doesn't work, we can do it in a couple weeks.
Where do
You go down to the bottom and you hit share.
Oh,
now that yeah.
Look, I had a stroke a month and a half ago, less than a month.
Show us the screen.
So I can't see anything. So anyway.
Okay, here you go.
Okay.
Okay,
see,
now we can see it.
it's
Yes.
highlighted.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So show us the pages.
Okay, this is the story of the Phoenix system. And
Okay.
then I will tell you, well, I can show you my story first if you want, but whichever.
Well, let's have
No.
Bridget look at this and react to it.
Okay.
So my initial reaction to this right away is that the partner-centric copy or the prospect-centric copy is good.
Okay.
However, no reason not to have a limbic message at the top of that. Right.
Oh.
So limbic message first, then you've reached the pinnacle of success.
This is just the text. I have the whole, the headline, the limbic message and all that, which is separate from the actual copy.
Okay, so that's what we need to see.
You're not going to get that today. I will send it to you.
Okay, so
I
then
mean,
let's look.
it's there, but I don't want to occupy all the time
Yeah.
because I know other people are going to want to have their stuff looked at. But I will
Yeah,
send
so
that to you.
let's do this when you have it ready so we can take
Okay.
a look. And then we can better serve you. Because we go way back. We know that you're a brilliant person. And so I'm looking forward to your brilliance. But let's put it in a format that we can actually see it.
Oh,
So
wait a second. Wait a second. I may have this. I may have it.
all right.
Hang on,
I'm
hang
also
on,
going
hang
to
on,
pull up
hang on,
Bridget.
hang on. File, open.
Yeah, let's not take up everybody's time finding stuff, Dorina. This is not really fair to everybody else. So
I
let's,
know that is what I just
The
said.
good news is,
But,
Dorina, you've got plenty of output here to go through, so that's great.
I have a ton of output, and when I spoke up, I thought we would schedule some things.
Yeah, no, this is good.
let's
right
schedule
now.
it.
So
Let's schedule it.
anyway, yeah, I can't do it this coming week, but if we can do it the following week, I will format it so you see the header, the limbic message, and the
Perfect.
limbic message is in the middle of everything and so on, all the pages, and then we can go from there. Is that good?
Yep.
That's perfect. Thank you,
All right,
Dorina.
thank you. Hey, Bridget.
All right. Excellent. So I saw a comment
All right, let's
in
stop Dorina's screen share, Rich.
okay, well,
Great, thanks. Hey, Bridget.
I
saw a comment that said that somebody was really happy with the website.
Yes, I'll read Bridget's comment. Bridget dropped this. I just completed a website redesign for a client, and we walked through Ridgely's prompts, and once she saw the website, she started to cry. She was so moved by the results. It's not every day that you hear a client say, I love my website. Congratulations, Bridget. Excellent.
Yeah, thank you. You want to
All
share the
right.
link? You mean show it from your screen?
Either way, let's check it out.
Are you going to share it, or did you want me to share it?
You can or I can, either way, but
You do it.
all right, give me the link.
Oh, let me copy it in there again.
Yeah, there's been a lot of comments happening in
know,
chat.
right? There you go.
All right, here we go. Tell us a little bit about the client. Tell us a little bit about what we've got here.
Well, I could go to the PAF Brain and just, I did the review while we were waiting. It's a website primarily for God-centric women and building a business and really getting back in touch with their faith. And so that's what the website's about. So the imagery is based on the 7 warrior powers.
This is super cool. I didn't expect
nice.
anything less, but this is really cool. So I'll let you comment in a second here, but I want to point out certain things that I immediately go to, which are like awesomenesses of Bridget. Notice how the navigation has a slight amount over top of the picture, but actually the picture dominates with the sword coming up all the way through the navigation, the clouds going up a little bit into the navigation. Super cool. I was like, man, check that out. Now that's before I even get to the fact that loving the limbic message. Okay, we believe every woman is a warrior. And then the subhead, equipped with God's strength and purpose, fits right in, but doesn't take away from the limbic. This is flawless, Bridget. I mean,
Yes,
this is great. This is
excellent,
like,
excellent work.
yeah.
A teaching moment here, which we often say, but it's hard to visualize. But this is a perfect example. We tend to focus on providing you first with the actual text content in terms of Limbic. We believe every woman is a warrior. But do you all see how it's magnified and the point is made through the graphics? The graphic imagery is a shortcut into a person's emotional, heart and brain. It's like when it's properly selected, and we all know how awesome Bridget is in terms of the things she's thinking of. The interplay of light, the dynamic contrast between the light and the dark in this thing, and the whole celestial thing with the God messaging and her looking up. I mean, and the sword pointing up. So it works on many, many deep levels. Good job, Bridget.
Thank you.
Not only that, this is really subtle, but I'm just digging it, is the look in the woman's eyes is looking up aspirationally. So even though it's guiding you into the direction of the limbic message, we believe every woman is a warrior. That aspirational look to the heavens, if you will, is so subtle, but so well done. I was like, oh yeah, this is Bridget Callahan just killing it. Love that.
Exactly. And then look right away, go back up for a quick second. Bridget, stop right there. Okay. So originally, right away, she's doing the play in reverse of here's what you can be, but look where you are currently, right? The next panel is the where you're at. You're carrying the weight of self-doubt, stress, and exhaustion. It's like, the proof and the current state is stated right here in these first two panels.
And by the way, for those of us who geek out on stuff like this in a big way, I'm not sure Bridget had to consciously think of this because she's so good at what she does. But even the name Michelle McHenry is framed by the sword and the head of the woman flawlessly. It's just great on every level. Okay, and then we get to the problem. Here's who you could be. Here's who you are. Right. You've been carrying the weight of self-doubt and exhaustion. You've fought so many battles, feel like you're stuck but never running on empty, da da da, and it keeps you going. Hubert, what are you thinking? So this is just phenomenal, really great. What are you thinking of the placement of the call to action?
See, I like it because this is a newer school type of thing. The power of the scroll is largely misunderstood by everybody, including marketers. You don't win them with the call to action. You win them with the scrolling down because that's the first mark of engagement. Okay. If everything was above the fold, like people used to say in the old days, it may or may not work. If there's a button right under there equipped with God's strength, on the top panel, go to the very top, Bridget. Old school would say, oh, let's put a call to action button right there. Now you're saying, okay, I am so good that they don't need to scroll and look at the rest of the site. They're going to look and be awed and click that button. I'm sorry, but life doesn't work that way. How life works is that you stun them with the first grade panel, which leads to the second panel, which leads to the third panel, and so on and so forth. And by the time you get down to that call to action button, and I'm not saying it needs to be on the bottom. Originally, it's proposing that we have, multiple ones, I would gather. But by the time you get down to the end, go to the bottom, Bridget, the woman that's pressing that button right there has been sold on all of these panels thus far, which is very different than the old school way of like, oh, one panel, oh, sure, I'm going to click. Worse yet is, if you all recall, in the old days, there would be a pop-up that would say, leave your name and email address for such and such. I've been on the site 3 seconds and they're asking me for my name and email already. I don't really think you need such a gorgeous page if you're going to ask them for the email in 3 seconds.
Okay, so here's where I would change. I would make a change. Let's think of the psychology. We believe every woman is a warrior. I'm nodding my head, equipped with God's strength. You've been carrying the weight of self-doubt and exhaustion. You fought so many battles. I'm nodding my head. That's right. At Empower the Warrior Within, you'll rediscover your strength. Maybe. Says who? Why would I do that? As opposed to where it says at Empower the Warrior Within, you'll rediscover your strength. How about right there? You deserve to rediscover the warrior within. Our program will help you reconnect with your identity in Christ. Da, 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 da. See, now you're saying they agree with we believe everyone's a warrior. They're agreeing with this. They're agreeing with what I deserve. You deserve to rediscover the warrior within, or you deserve to rediscover your strength. It continues to reinforce the message. So by the time you get to this, are you ready to unlock? Well, yes, I am. I
Right.
deserve that.
And also,
Right.
originally, also right after where you're talking about, we could also insert, just like the project that we're fine tuning right now, you could show some proof. You could do a featured testimonial or 3. You know what I'm saying? Before you ask them to take action, if you have the proof, maybe you can just, drop the proof right on the homepage as well.
I would tweak that message right there. Other than that, I love this page. Love it.
Okay, great.
Right.
Everything you're saying makes perfect sense, and I didn't see it, so thank you.
Oh, that's why we're here, my dear. There we go. You deserve spiritual and physical vitality that empowers you to fulfill your divine vision. Really nice. Journey starts here. Great. Yep. Okay, so disconnect.
Yeah,
Who's Naomi?
it's a product that she sells.
Yeah, see, it's too soon for
Mhm.
the
It's a disconnect.
nitty-gritty of the how, especially when the how is accomplished through other branding, other
Yeah.
brands. Like
Yeah.
we shouldn't have that up at this level. That needs to be further down, if at all, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too quick. I'm like, what? Who's that? What's that Naomi thing? So obviously that's critically important because it's what the product is about, but introducing it not too fast because this is so emotional. There's got to be a transition of some kind to
Well,
get
and
from
I think
everything
so the About Us is a page. Then when you roll over About Us, Services is a page and Products is a page. And
okay, let me
like
do
she
that.
didn't even click on the About Us. She clicked on the underneath. So I'm thinking, what if we put all 3 of those on one page? Because I think on a mobile device, it's much easier to scroll than to kind of go click to another button. What are your thoughts?
Yubi?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think well, I'll pitch this as well that might help to ease the transition between getting to the product thing. What's missing originally is that it's the aspiration part on the homepage is awesome. These are the tools here, which is fine. But before the tools, before the how it's done, we need like the approach. We need the warrior within approach, meaning in the navigation, Bridget, after home, but before the our stuff, it needs to be like an approach. And if you could brand it, what's it called again? Empower the warrior within?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you can come up with like an approach, and it just needs to be like 3 steps or whatever it is. You assess your strengths, you channel your uh, vision, whatever it is. That approach satisfies the how it's done through the approach, and then you can bring on the individual tools, which are the things. And then originally, after that intervening layer is in place, then it's fine to go into Naomi and all those other things because
Yeah,
that's the
for sure.
how
That's
of the
all. That's the only thing that was missing was that transition piece.
approach. Yeah.
Yeah.
The warrior framework or whatever it is.
Mhm.
And what's the price point?
There's no pricing, and we're not gonna put pricing on there. But it's a mastermind program.
Okay, so if that's the case, are we saying that the sale is going to come from a consultation?
Yes.
If that's the case, then I wouldn't say join the program on any of these buttons. I would
Yeah, it
say
needs to be like book a call.
set up a call, find out more, something, not join the program. Join the program sounds really salesy,
Yeah.
especially if it's not going to go straight to a program registration. It's going to go to a talk to me. Let's have a
Right.
chat. Let's connect.
So
Something like that. Make it more feel like, hey, people want to connect with Michelle to find out about the warrior within. If that's going to be the process anyway, then for sure you don't want the button to say join the program.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you need to find out what the current funnel is. If she has recurring webinars or something like that, it could say something like, register for the next webinar, or whatever the action point is into her current sales cycle.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, she's done the webinar a couple times, been on stage with people. The landing page that we built before this is the seven, it's not the seven, but seven, the number 7 warriorpowers.com. If you want to show that, that was the initial branding and design for this direction.
Does that speak of like a 7-step approach or something like that?
It's actually feeds into her really detailed survey. So this gives you access to taking her survey and figuring out which of the 7 powers you are, just like mind types,
Okay, cool. So maybe that becomes the approach part. So that approach layer that we talked about that was missing earlier, that could come as part of this.
Okay.
Yeah, because join the program just sounds too much like a sales thing.
Right.
Too fast. Right. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, there's just so much to love about this. Work on the transition just a little bit, work on the call to action. So remember, everybody that's watching this, this is textbook stuff, right? This is textbook limbic messaging, prospect or partner centric copy, call to action. And if you notice, we looked at all of those things. We looked at what's the limbic messaging first, tweaked that a little bit. The prospect centric copy is already there, but then we tweaked the call to action too. And it's so important to do all of those things to optimize whatever it is that you're working on for your public, your marketplace, whatever that may be. So as always, not that I ever expect anything less from you, Bridget, but fantastic stuff.
Well, and I just because I'm on stage here, I could see the participants, and my friend Michelle is on the call.
Awesome.
Welcome, Michelle. Glad to have you with us. Really good stuff. You definitely have a wizard working in your corner. So that is really, really good. And if you disagree with anything that Hubert or I said, remember, you're the boss, not us. There you go.
Exactly.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, awesome. Originally, tell the good folks when we're meeting again.
We are meeting again next week. Next week is Mind Types After Dark. Oh, yeah.
Special session.
So
that's awesome.
For those people who don't know about that, Mind Types After Dark is always super fun. We meet at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. We invite you, if you choose, to bring whatever is your beverage of choice, whether that's tea or otherwise. And we usually have a great time, being a little bit more irreverent than usual. So
Awesome.
What are you leaving with us?
All right. So thank you, Dorina. Thank you, Bridget. Dorina, if you're still there listening, can you come back on camera? Because you get your special reward, which is a Hubert joke. So Dorina, you get to go first.
I get.
Yes, you get your special joke.
Yeah.
Okay, Dorina, did you
Yes.
hear about the archaeologist that got fired? Did you hear about the archaeologist that got fired?
I have not.
His career is in ruins.
I have one for you. I have one for you,
Yes?
Hubert.
Oh, this is truly a delight.
Why do Polish airlines only fill their airplanes half full?
Is this going to get us banned? I don't know. Why? What?
Because Poles in the right half plane cause instability. It's a
Mhm.
complex variables joke.
See,
This is why,
Dorina,
this is
there you go. Dorina's back. We're glad to know that. Very good. So,
talk
You
about
know,
talk
and what's
about a
really
mess.
funny is when people laugh at it, and they have absolutely no clue what you were
There you
talking
go.
about.
Okay, now Bridget, I got one for you. Bridget,
I'm ready.
why do ducks have feathers on their tails? This one's a little risque. Why do ducks have feathers on their tails?
I have no idea.
To hide their butt quacks.
Oh, please. Ah.
Ridgely, I got one for you, Ridgely. I heard
oh
that
no,
Ridgely, you have a law degree, right?
I do.
Okay, so you should be able to get this one.
Oh.
What kind of underpants do lawyers wear? Come on, Ridgely, you can do it.
Briefs.
Yes.
Very good.
Okay. All right. We'll see you all. Appreciate you, everybody. Remember, Mind Types After Dark next week, Thursday the 10th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to talk to me, pop on my calendar. We'll see if you're the right fit for the mastermind. Otherwise, have a great rest of the week. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Jimmy,
Bye.
can you join me in my Zoom?
Yep. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Ciao, everybody. Thank you.